Hello and welcome to Chess Please. Let's get right into it. Okay, so we have the black pieces again. We have been getting a lot of games with the black pieces, which immediately are on the back foot, but we try and do our best. Our Sicilian has gotten us out of a couple of jams. I much prefer facing e4 than d4. Play the Benko against d4, but I don't know it as well. I haven't played as many games as I have played Sicilian games, so a little bit more comfortable with the different curveballs that can come at us this way. So this could be a Smith Mora if we take here and then they do something like this, offer up that pawn, Smith Mora Gambit. We're going to go into it because I definitely don't want them to play that. Okay, it's not a Smith Mora, it's just an Open Sicilian, so that's fine. We are in good nick. We want to just develop our other knight, put a bit of pressure on this pawn, kind of make them play this. And this is kind of a branching point for a lot of Sicilians, a lot of Open Sicilians. And if you're looking to kind of like get a little better, it's probably good to like get a pet system. People talk about the Najdorf or the Accelerated Dragon. I play like an E6 variation, also known as like the Taimanov. Generally, it's pretty theory light compared to some of the others, so I do recommend it. But I also have played like a ton of games with it, so it's not... A lot of this is just like learning by having played quite a lot. Generally, you want to put your queen here, which we might do at this very moment. D5 is also pretty interesting, which I think we might even start with D5. Just to open up this bishop, and I mean, it was already open, but kind of it solves a lot of some of the awkwardness with your position here. And then I think there's also a thing where we can actually take this way. Generally, as a rule of thumb, you want to take toward the center. But I think in this case, our bishop is going to have a happier life. On this diagonal, we do have a weakness here, but our queen wants to come here anyway to defend that. So we'll see how that all shakes out. And our next move, just going to keep developing, get ready to castle. I think this is the best home for our bishop. Yeah, I was going to go here, but then oftentimes it's very annoying when your knight can, or your opponent's knight can kind of swing into some menacing positions while you're developing your bishop. You got to move your bishop again, and you're probably just going to move it here anyway, so why give them the tempo to advance their knight? Let's get castled here. Again, bishop making contact, there's like sacrifice ideas there. But we have some sacrifice ideas of our own. Now, if I'm to develop this bishop, here looks interesting, here looks pretty interesting. Anywhere else, not so great. I like it. I like here because it keeps contact here, but I think this is just a little more enterprising. Okay, interesting. Gonna set up just a very flimsy, like we're not looking for them to miss this, but we're looking for like a concession here of some sort. Oh, maybe they just want to miss it also. That's fine with me. Don't necessarily want to let them take here, but is it worth? I think it's worth this pawn in front of the king. They'll take here, we'll take back, and we have a very exposed king there as well, but I think this is going to be the better part of that sort of conundrum. So pawn up, both of us with very exposed kings, I think is fair to say. And I think I just want to like exfiltrate my bishop here. I don't know how much good it's actually doing here. And we can actually even do that with tempo as well. Right, what now? Again, our king is very exposed, but there's not a great way for them to get at it right now. They'll probably push this soon enough. So let's prepare to crash on through here. Okay, that's another pawn push. Oof. Tempted to like move our king here, switch our rook inside there. Look, we may or may not have the time for a move like that, but it's what's happening. You can also even do this just to protect that sort of nonsense. Yeah, that's a good move. Although, yeah, no, it's a good move. This is the only real thing for it. I'll keep an eye on the clock, as per usual. Tempted to bring the rook across here, but it does make things very, very claustrophobic for our king there, so that seems a little slow. This is interesting. Looking to push here. They want to push there themselves and block out their own bishop. I also don't mind that, so yeah. That's okay. Just drop back here. That's interesting, of course. Get more in the mix here. Okay, we're committed. We're committed to this goofy, very, very sweaty king. Was that the right thing to do? Hard to say. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim. For you, boy. But they also do have to come and get us out of here. This sarcophagus. Funny game. Funny game. Definitely all hinged on we took there and let them crack us open like an egg. I think there might have been better ways. I don't know. We didn't necessarily have to slide our king into this death corner. And we might have kept the pressure up a little more with our own efforts there. Listen, if that's a gambit, it's a gambit. Gambit on our own terms. even though this rook is kind of pinned back here defending, we do set up a nice little attack there, which would win probably this rook. We're still going to try it. It's a little bit fancy. What we're going to do is threaten checkmate here and hit this bishop here. See what they want to do about that. Which I think is a nice little sacrifice. I think without this bishop, their king is almost the opposite to our king, where our king is completely hemmed in, completely enclosed, no room to breathe. Their king is nude as the day he was born. He's got a few pieces around him, but they're kind of involved in the attack and the defense, so pretty exposed, like a lot of back rank squares available to us, not immediately, but in pretty short order that we could take advantage of. So do we have enough timber in the way, or is their king gone with the wind? That's the argument. We've got about 8 minutes, 7 minutes altogether to prove it, one way or t'other. Again, threatening checkmate in one. It's not a bad little device. Very powerful. Because now the question becomes, like, how are they even stopping the checkmate? I guess you could come knight in here. Which does get pretty interesting. It's complicated. Knight in here is also nice, because then it sort of stops. Well, their knight's in a bit of trouble himself. We could just take that. Interesting times. Yeah, I think we want to just take here. And then they'll probably take here, which I think is kind of fine. Because we can just hit him with the check. And whatever they do, we just checkmate with the queen on the next move. So what else could they have cooked? They might take here first. Which again is not check. So in the limited time we have, I'm going to say, prove it. Prove it to me. This bishop might find itself being very useful here, just coming back to d6. Delivering a nasty little check on the king there. Which I think could happen right now. Or almost right now. Like so. There's a check. King has to come here, or they can give away all their pieces if they want. Then there's a nasty check. Take with the bishop. Take with a rook. We take with a rook. Take with a... can't take with the king. Okay, let's do it. What's your game here, pal? Are you stopping me now? I don't know if he is. I don't know if they are. Pepe 690 from Italy. Buonanotte. Ciao bello. Beautiful. Nice little win. Again, the argument persistent of were we too hemmed in or were they too exposed? Ultimately, we were able to argue our case a little better. So, taking a quick look at the game review, not a particularly accurate game by myself or my opponent. Opening went pretty well. I think I was happy enough with that. Up until the point where we eventually, the computer calls this a mistake, developing a bishop. I think they wanted us to move our queen in here, I guess, to put a little more pressure on this pawn early on, maybe protect this pawn a little better. Pretty computer obscura is what's happening there. And when we took this pawn, this was actually a mistake, but not necessarily for the reason that we mentioned of when they take back our pawn, or when they take back our knight, we have to open up and that the computer thinks that is better. It's actually because they can just do this. They can just play that move and our bishop is fairly trapped there. They can capture and then we capture back and ultimately we're fine. So not a huge, not a great play there from us, but c'est la vie. They miss it. We were able to get our bishop out of trouble, which again the computer did not like. Computer liked almost nothing in this game. And we played like a 70 and a 60 something accuracy respectively, so it wasn't like dreadful, but computer was really mean. So we get a little hemmed in here again. The computer wants us to do something a little crazy. I think just here. No, not just here. So we take here with the bishop, that's fine. Now, we started to faff around here where we put the queen here first, but we didn't have to wait. All of the things that were available to us after this sequence, when the knight comes in, we take the knight and we drop back here, were available to us a little phase beforehand, or we could have just immediately come in here. And again, things get pretty Loctite for them. Very fun one actually here. I think I'm after just spotting, because I think if we come back here and if they block with the rook, then I think we can take with the queen, they take with the knight, and you're like, uh-oh. But then you can take here with check, king has to come here, and then that is checkmate. Okay, very nice computer. I'll take it. I see what you mean here. So that's pretty tidy, but eventually we were able to crack on through. Again, they didn't. I suppose this bishop was surplus to requirements. We did make it a little bit harder than we needed to, because instead of hooking the bishop back up here, we could just take, and that's actually checkmate 1. So nice one, Andy. You missed mate in 1, but we got there in the end. Nice game, fun times. Thanks for sticking around. Feel free to subscribe and stick around for some more chess if you're interested, and have a great day.